immediately, and then as we continue, I'm sure every other person that is supposed to be here would join in as usual. So today is another day to discuss everything about energy. We are going to be definitely touching on innovations within energy and some interesting concepts around energy, as we usually do. My name is Kaito. I founded the Energy Tribe, and it's such a huge opportunity and honor to be here and to be leading this. So I will just run you through what the Energy Tribe is about, especially for people that haven't been here for quite a while, or people that really don't know what Energy Tribe is about. And then from there would get on with the introductions and conversations, and then would flow from there. So my name is Kaito, like I said, and Energy Tribe essentially is a community of young people that are actively very interested in the energy space. And so what that means is that we try to build depth, we try to build knowledge, and we try to build like a breadth around the energy space. And we also look beyond what the norm of energy is usually known for. And so you'll find out that we touch on topics around, energy markets, energy finance, AI within energy. We touch on data in energy. We touch on the different parts of energy that are very, very interesting that many people are not essentially aware of. And so this is just an opportunity to share ideas on what the energy, what we can do, what areas we could take up within the energy space, and how we can present ourselves as actively engaging young people within this sector. And so for today, we have a very, very interesting session. I feel like I'm very excited for this session, especially because these are young people that build something very, very interesting within the energy space. And these are young people that are even doing much more than we think. And, there are people that are not out of reach. There are people that are directly within us. And so it's just interesting to hear what they have to say, to see their mind, see how things work, and also to, expand our minds, things that we can build, or things that we can innovate, or things that we can actively capture within the energy space. Just, stay tuned. Just keep your ears to the ground. If you have questions as well, put it up on the chat box. You can also raise your hands, and then we'll definitely call you up. And so for now, I think I would we'll start off with introductions to the team. That's the Solar Sentry team, and then we'll build on what's the Solar Sentry team builds, what the project is all about, what the competition was all about, and every other thing from there. So I think we'll start off with introductions first. So we can start with Abiola, and then move around the 5 members of the team, and then we'll pick up the questions from there. So yeah, Abiola, if you're up, you can introduce yourself to the team.
Okay, thank you, and thank you everyone. My name is Abiola Ogundeji, and I'm the team lead for the team Solar Sentry that won the 2023-2024 E4E challenge. And currently I'm working at Kubox as an IoT engineer. So thank you.
Thank you, Abiola. If we have Charles or Samuel, anyone up?
All right.
Okay. We can have some.
All right. Sorry for that. Good evening, everyone. My name is Olowosile Samuel, and I'm also a team member of the team that won the E4E challenge for 2020-2024 Solar Sentry design, and I'm currently a 400 level student of the Department of Electronic and Electrical Engineering at Obafemi Awolowo University, and I'm currently on my IT, and I'm doing my IT at Huawei Technologies. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel. Charles.
Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Emeka Charles Simeon, as I like to say, the first of his name. I am a final year student of Obafemi Awolowo University too. a student of electronic and electrical engineering. I'm happy to be here to tell you and preach the gospel of Solar Sentry to everybody. Nice meeting you all. I hope we have a nice time with the EnerGii tribe today.
Yes, I'm sure we will. Nice to meet you, Charles, the best of his name. If we have Mary.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Ajose Mary from Obafemi Awolowo University. I'm also part of the team, and I'm a part-time student of the Department of Electronic and Electrical Engineering Department.
Nice to meet you, Mary. Nice to meet. I think one more person, Michael, right?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Oh, hi, good evening. Yes, I can.
My name is Michael Adesiyan Oluwatobiloba. I'm a graduate of Electronics and Electrical Engineering Department from Obafemi Awolowo University. I'm a professional videographer with 8 years experience. I'm proud. I'm part of this team.
Nice to meet you, Michael. Nice to meet you. I think someone said in the chat that if you can please like turn on your videos. Yeah. Then yeah. So we'll dive straight into the questions. Definitely. It's so nice to meet you all and so nice to get acquainted to you all. I think when we first had a conversation around like this, I felt like this needed to go beyond me just hearing what you guys had done to like every other person hearing what you guys had done to see that these things are not exactly far-fetched as we think it is. And so that's why I was like, oh, it would be nice if you have these people feature in EnerGii Tribe, because one thing about EnerGii Tribe that we try to do is go beyond the usual talks around energy and then deep dive into interesting, crazy, out of the world things that are really happening and that people can, get plugged into, and people can, people can get like inspiration from. I know a lot of people have ideas. A lot of people have like very interesting ideas that could be very implemented within the energy space. And so seeing people that have gone this path or see people that have done this, previously just gives you that inner core, inner energy. And I mean, they can always reach out to any of you later on and be like, oh, we saw that you did this and this is something I have in mind, could you like give me 1 or 2 pointers and all of that. So that's like the whole essence of why you guys are here. So I think we'll first deep dive into the conversation. I think the very first thing that people would have in their mind is what exactly is Solar Sentry project? What is it about? Is it software? Is it hardware? Is it a mixture of both? What exactly is this project? And how do we see this project as individuals within like the energy space? So I think I'll leave this for Abiola to answer if you are available.
Okay. Thank you. I think if I get your question very well, you're asking if our project is primarily an hardware project or a software project. Actually, our project is it's a mix of the two. So what the Solar Sentry project actually does is that it's a wireless reporting device. It's trying to samples the electrical data of the solar systems and then wirelessly report it to the database, and then where analytics and any kind of ML can be embedded on it, and then or any kind of anomalous consumptions can be detected, and then reports to the nearest stakeholders or to the technicians so as to take proactive actions in order to ensure that the system does not totally break down before any actions can be taken. So that's basically what the project is all about. So just a device that ensures that the systems works optimally at all times.
Okay, so if I get it correctly, these devices are for solar systems, right? It's primarily for solar systems.
Yes.
Okay. So coming down. Sorry, continue, please.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
For that, it just capture both the loads, the batteries. It's been wirelessly reported to the server. ML can be embedded on data, and then any kind of anomalous consumption can be detected and then reports to the right stakeholders. So that's just basically what we did. So it's just a mix of both the hardware, which is software, which is where the old ML and the AI things is being done. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So coming back to you, one thing I want to ask is what were those real world challenges or problems that you felt like this project or this could handle? So I know that every project stems from something, a challenge that you have foreseen or a problem that you think is within the environment or even beyond the environment. So what problems or real world challenges did you foresee or did you see within probably Nigeria or Africa or even beyond, and you thought that, oh, this project is something that would be very relevant to it?
Okay, actually, where we actually got the inspiration from was we usually see a lot of solar projects in our environment done by the government or maybe by donor organizations. So whereby those solar projects doesn't last maybe 6 months or a year before they packed up. And then we not think that, okay, if there is a device that has been reporting the state of these solar systems, then to the right person, then maybe these solar systems would have worked longer and then try to systems have been improving and also support the businesses in which this solar system has been supporting. So that's where we got the inspiration from that. So we do see a lot of solar projects around us that got breakdown in a year or maybe 6 months. And then after that, the whole investment just got wasted. So that is now where we now think and come up, okay, we should come up with a project that actually takes the data of these systems, reports it, then find a software system that can do the analytics and get any kind of anomalous data that is in these systems, and then report it to the right individual so that the right actions can be taken, and then ensure that the system is running at all times. So that's where we got the inspiration from.
Yeah, I think that's actually very solid, especially because right now, like within Africa, you find out that the need for solar is climbing excessively.
Yes, especially for remote areas whereby electricity is quite limited. So, and if there is nothing, if there is no systems that is actually reporting this kind of incidents, so then definitely that project will just become wasted after a year or two. So and then with this Solar Sentry project, from the Sentry just means like a guard trying to ensure that the system works at all time. So that's where the idea comes from. So and I think that's what our solution is, just trying to ensure that it maintains.
Yeah, very valid. I would imagine that building Solar Sentry, there had to be quite a number of technical challenges, especially in terms of maybe components or in terms of getting the right data, especially in a country like Nigeria where these things are not actively available. So what sort of technical challenges did you guys face? How were you guys able to even navigate it? All of these things.
Actually, thank you. The first challenge in which we first of all feel is that we are all in school then, so we have been doing semester projects. So, but this is the first kind of project whereby we want to do a project whereby it must be feasible, scalable, and be useful for the society. So that's just where the challenge comes from. So we are thinking of what kind of components are we to use. Because most of the components we have been working with for prototyping. So, but for this kind of project, we have to think of components that can be used in production use. So that's one of the challenging which we faced then. So everyone just have to research, do the research, the collaborations and everything. So I think that's one of the biggest technical challenge we have then. So yeah, I think.
Okay, Okay, yeah. So I feel like I've asked you a whole lot of questions. So I'll probably move to another person. possibly like Samuel, I know that a lot of like currently we have like a whole lot of talks around AI, data-driven energy solutions, intelligent solutions, and it's becoming something that is creating like a fast pace within Africa, even beyond Africa, especially now that we are in a world that is becoming much more intelligent. So I would want to ask, how did building this project change the way you think about AI within the energy space? Was this something that you had naturally seen, was this something you had naturally like gathered interest for? Was it something that was already very prominent for you? How did it just change your view around AI within the energy space?
All right. Thank you very much for the question. So, well, I would say back then when we were working on the projects, when we were trying to come up with this solution, AI wasn't even as advanced as it is now. Then I just even viewed sorry about that. Then I just even viewed AI as a search engine. Like I just like ask a question, then you give me an answer. But now it's actually beyond that. Now if you look at like the possibilities that AI can actually give us. So for example, now if you look at like the energy reality here in Nigeria and across Africa, like where most of the times like we have off-grid like solar systems deployed, then we need to like it has made me realize that we need to like also upskill and to like learn how to make use of AI to ensure we can get the best out of like these solar systems. So for example now our project, the Solar Sentry, it's helped me to understand how AI can play a very massive role in the energy sector. For example, now in our in a local context now, when we want to send a technician now to a rural installation, it can be very, very expensive and can be very, very time consuming. But now, if we're able to analyze like large amounts of operational data, AI can help us to identify all these patterns and predict equipment failures, thereby helping us to optimize maintenance schedules and also improve energy efficiency in that sense. So in some ways, it's a game changer for Africa and Nigeria as a whole, because the Solar Sentry actually like showed me how AI can be a critical enabler of like smarter and more resilient energy systems in the future. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, especially because currently I was reading something and I saw that there's this battery swapping model that's currently ongoing for EVs and all of that, and then people are now using that to kind of create virtual networks that collect electricity across like different rural communities. It was quite an interesting concept. You can like check it out. But then it just opened my eyes to see that there are now realities beyond what we know within the energy space, and also with what AI can do. And I find it very interesting because previously, like when I was like still in uni or like graduating for uni, this was not like such a hot topic, because everybody was like, everybody saw like the energy industry as a one way or one path thing. But now we see the different paths we could take. I mean, you could be like a software engineer and still be functioning effectively within the energy space. You could be like a data engineer and still like be functioning effectively within the energy space. And so it was just interesting to see how these things are coming to life and how these things are gradually taking up space within the energy industry. But yeah, I think I'll go to Charles next. And I think one thing I want to ask would be, how do you see Solar Sentry beyond this competition? Like, this is something amazing that you guys have built. This is something that I feel like is very, very useful, especially now that we are seeing like the high spike in the use of solar. I mean, solar has been noted to be one of the fastest growing renewable energy source for Africa, and we predict that by 2030 it would see even much more growth beyond what it is now. And so it would just be interesting to see what are your plans, like how do you envision that the Solar Sentry would grow beyond this competition? Is this something that you guys are actively like building, scaling and all of those kind of things?
Definitely. We've been trying to reach out to some people to be able to buy into the idea and incorporate it to to the way they develop, especially the brain box of every solar setup, which is the charge controller. You understand? So if our system is meant to track energy generation, consumption, and the system's health. So if there is any disparity in the expected outcome and what we have as the actual outcome, this system is meant to flag it. So every system in a solar generator, solar setup usually have the center point of charge controller from generation to consumption. So if we have this kind of system set up in the charge controller unit side, we're able to communicate across. So this will help everybody that wants and to use solar in a way that in the future we help them to use it in an easier way. You understand? The competition actually gave us the opportunity to validate the concepts where we initially, it's all about writing logic, writing to Arduino, if else if, do this, call this function. But now with AI, we can, instead of downloading the data first, analyze it, and then start making inferences in line, we can do everything inside a model straight up. So our long-term vision is for a fully developed and deployable solution that can be integrated into these charge controllers for communities, for businesses. In fact, you will have learned about a company, a renovation company that is coming up now. Not just coming up now, I think it's been around since 2018, Kubox. They have very smart charge controllers using IoT inside the charge controllers. It's a very good concept to me. So it kind of tells us that the Solar Sentry being deployed in the field is not far into the future. It's just right in front of us. If charge controllers could be IoT empowered right now, you understand? So the renewable energy is something that acceptable right now. And the more acceptance we give to renewable energy, the more need we have for Solar Sentry. I just believe it is a matter of saying or preaching the gospel of Solar Sentry in the right rooms to the right ears. And yeah, we have a very good device for renewable energy to use. That's just all it is. That's all it is there.
Yeah. I think that's fair enough. I think that you guys are like in the middle of opportunity, especially since like there's a whole lot of rise in terms of funding opportunities like this, in terms of building and scaling like solutions like this. If you check, the world has there has been that shift towards people that are actively building and actively solving very interesting, especially energy. I feel like energy is like one part of like the world that we can like live without. And so people actively building and, deploying solutions around that becomes easier for like opportunities to like get you, opportunities to find you. We also had interestingly, we had a session, I think that was like 2 months ago or 3 months ago, where we had someone that was also building within the energy industry, but he was building, I think that was gas generators that could be used within houses and businesses and all of that. And so it's just interesting to see that people are actively doing very interesting things and very amazing things and things that can very well be deployed and be used, and be refined as time goes within the energy space. Yeah. So I think I'll come back to Abiola, and definitely Samuel can contribute to this question as well. But one thing I want to ask is, in terms of team dynamics, I think that's also a very, very important question when building solutions with people. When you have an idea and then you're trying to rally people to come together and then build on that idea, how was that team dynamics for people? How did you bring people together? How did you sell the vision? And then how was that process throughout the journey? I know that things like this could either like break or make the team, but in your case, I can see that it actually made the team. So like it would be interesting to just share like how you were able to like put that together. We can start with Abiola and then Samuel can contribute.
Okay. We see the team dynamics. Then I was in my final year then, and I think Michael was in part 4 then. Charles was in part 3, and I think Mary and Samuel are in their sophomores. So if you now try to see this team compositions, you definitely see that we have people that have little experience about any kind of electronics because they are still in their early stage, like Samuel and Mary. So what I just have to do then is just to ensure that everyone knows what is going on. Because those of us that have experience, that we've done a lot of semester projects, so we just have to ensure that those that are still beginning knows what the whole project was all about. So that's just the first thing that we did then, a lot of collaborations. So how to do research, how to do this, and then with that. So I think that's actually what's actually helped us then. We don't see just like a competition then, we see more like a collaboration. And I think that's the spirit that's actually helped us to win the competition then. So I don't know if Samuel has any other things to put in.
Okay, just a little addition to what Mr. Abiola said. So as he said, I was a sophomore then, and I didn't really have much experience on even like modeling projects or even like making research because it was just like the first semester then, and the only thing I had done till that time was just work on a simple Arduino program, like Arduino code, like it's something like Hello World in Python. That's the only thing I had done then. So it was more of like a learning opportunity for me because I had a chance to. Before that, we all had a common goal. We all wanted to solve a single problem. We all wanted to make sure that EnerGii is made available to rural communities or less privileged communities. So at that time, Mr. Abiola, as he said, was in final year. So I had the opportunity to because there are a lot of things I didn't know then. There are like some technical terms. So he guided me and he mentored me on some things, and that's how we were able to come up with the Solar Sentry. So that's just an addition for me.
Yeah. I feel like there were times when I have worked with teams and it did not work out, and there are times obviously when I worked with teams and it did work out. So I just wanted to understand what that felt like for you guys, especially because this was a very important project, and so it was essential to make sure that there was like a level of understanding for everybody. I know obviously people would have like their strengths and their weaknesses, people would be better in this sort of area than this other sort of area. So it was just very interesting to see how you guys were able to combine your strengths and also make up for your weaknesses and then build on this as well. So yeah, it was just good to know that you guys saw it as an avenue to collaborate and not just like a winning. I think that what you mentioned was really important, because when coming together for some of these things, it's important to see that you are actively, I know the end goal is people want to win, but then before winning, the process of actually learning, solving a problem, putting together a vision and all of that would be very important. So I think I'll come back to Samuel. A lot of people don't really know what the efficiency for access challenge is. I don't think I knew about it until I found you guys out. And so it would just be nice to share what the efficiency for challenge is about. What was your experience? What do you think people should just know if they would want to put in an application or want to design something like that and all of that?
So yes, as for the efficiency for access challenge, well, it was it was more than a competition. It was like an opportunity to see a real world problem, to see a life problem and actually try to solve it. like with our creativity. So for example, now the efficiency for access challenge was not only focused on the technical design, they were also focused on the scalability, affordability, how your project can also be like your prototype can be affordable for people in less privileged areas, sustainability and social impact. So like we actually challenged actually to think about how our solutions then could create meaningful change for less privileged communities. So in general, the experience actually like pushed us to actually think beyond just the engineering aspects of the project and also like to consider the broader challenges like that, including the economic impact, the environmental impact, and the society impact of our project. So that was what the experience was like for me. I think Mr. Abiola can also like say more on that also.
You're muted.
So just as Samuel said that the challenge is not just for you just to come up with the technical design. So it focuses more on, okay, your solutions, what is the social impact, how scalable it is, I mean, is it viable? So you just have to think more that, oh, you're not designing a system for a semester project or for something. So you have to think outside the box to ensure that your design is very, very, it's useful for the community. It's not just for the design's sake alone. So that's just what the whole challenge is all about. It's just allow you just to think more about how your solutions will be a practical one, not just a design concept. So that's just what the experience just all.
Yes. I find out that like competitions like this expose you to beyond the technical, like you mentioned. So you start looking into like economics, like how are some of these things funded, policies, like what sort of, governmental reforms are available for some of these like things, these projects and all of that. And you start deep diving into areas that you do not necessarily like used to look into when you're thinking about like the whole bucket of putting together a project and all of that. And so well done. I think if anyone has any questions, please like feel free to put on the chat or feel free to raise your hand before like we go on. Would always definitely take your questions. Then coming back to every member of the team, I think I want to hear the opinion of every member of the team here. But then the question is, how do you think that building the Solar Sentry project and also, participating within the Efficiency for Access Challenge, like shaped your career path? Was it, is it something that you think kind of gave you like a 360 degree in terms of, oh, this is something that I could like do futuristically, this is something that will be quite very beneficial to me, and all of that. What was it like for you? We can start with Abiola and then move on to the rest. Or do you want me to start with every other person?
Well, let me start first. Actually, the challenge has actually opened a lot of doors for me. In terms of, because my current career now, it was through E4A. So I got the internship positions through this E4A, and through the company I was working for, because E4A actually gave the company I was working currently now a grant, and it was through that I was able to connect with the CEO of the company and then got a position here. So, and it has actually opened a career for me in the energy space, because the company is an energy company. So, so that's just for me. This E4A has opened this opportunity of having the career in the energy space.
Okay. We can have Samuel.
All right. Well, as for me, I would say the Solar Sentry project then really had like a massive impact on me, because I had to like be going back to when I was a former, because that's when I actually worked on the project. So fast forward to SWEP 200, which is the Students Work Experience Program 200. It's a 3-month program that our OAU used to organize for their 200 level students at the end of the session. And then we were to come up with a project then. And by God's grace, I was privileged to be the group leader of the team that I was working with then. So we were to build a solar-powered autonomous lawnmower system. So having had a little bit of experience from the Solar Sentry project that I've worked on with Mr. Abiola, I learned through Mr. Abiola leadership skills. I also gained some things. Then I was able to apply that also in the SWEP 200 program. And we worked on prototyping the project then. And to God be the glory, it came out nice. And even our lecturers were very, very impressed because it was not even easy then at that time to come up with an innovative project as much as that. And also moving forward, I also had the opportunity to also intern at Schoolbox for my series 1 3 months. And so far so good. Going to the future, I'll definitely want to consider a career in energy systems in general. So yeah, that's it for me.
That's really good to know. It feels like your joy is very contagious. So yeah, I think we can have Michael. If you want me to take the question again, I can.
Can you hear me?
Fine. Yes, I can.
Okay, for me, before we went for the competition, I picked a skill in 3D modeling using Blender and Fusion 360 for a semester project. So when I was called upon to join the team in prototyping the project, I was like, I just picked it some months ago, so I was like, I can't do this. But later I picked it up and I was able to model the project and won. So that was a big one for me. My prototype won something. It's it. So other thing was the data. That was my first time working on data, like doing research about data. So with that, I was able to do my project, my final year project on data, gathering data for schizophrenia patients in OHAC. So that's a big one for me.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are actually doing amazing stuff even beyond Solar Sentry. So it's so good to know that these skills have been very transferable for you. We could have Mary if Mary is here.
Yeah. So for me, the project brought a lot of opportunities and experience because when I'm also a 400 level student, so I was in my sophomore too when we did this project, and that was my first time having doing a project that big because I was always involved with, when I was in my first year in school, I was always involved with my classmates and it was just simple projects. But that was my first time of meeting people that would add more experience, and I was able to, I learned team coordination. I was able to work on physical projects. I learned to, because then I didn't know anything about embedded systems and all, but I was able to get more information on it. Then also it helped because when I was in my 300 level, we did, it brought an opportunity where we were able to work at Schoolbox also as an intern, just like Samuel. And that was through this project. So, and for now, and I also worked on a data analysis for swapping data for energy markets in USA. So it has been a whole lot of journey that has brought me opportunities and experience. That's what I would say.
That's amazing. See you guys doing very interesting things even beyond. Okay, we have, I think, Charles. Yes.
Yes. Solar Sentry. Okay, let me get my camera. Yeah, let's say it gave me instead of 360 or 180 degrees change, it gave me an absolute 70 degrees actually, because I was this kind of guy that loves circuits. My interest in electronics and electrical engineering is majorly embedded systems. So without IoT, that is wow, what are you doing, bro? So embedded system at that time was majorly into IoT. So I was invited to the group, to the team. I was you help with the circuitry too. You learn from the job. You learn on job. You learn from the job, and you improve like that. So when I got there, I was seeing what you are trying to do, bro. I've not worked with this sensor before. What are you doing? So someone was like, okay, Charles, just take a chip, let's work on this. Let's see what it is. Documentation, documentation, and documentation. We read, and we were able to come up with that. I was so happy when we were told that the email. I received the mail that we've gotten gold medal. Oh my God, what is this? So I was really happy. I think I got to use KiCad for the first time. I was a Proteus guy. I got to use KiCad on that project, so I liked KiCad. And about my path, I said 70 degrees. Now I'm not looking to use embedded system just for security alone. I'm currently specializing in renewable energy in my final year now and power systems. So that is what I want to do now, using embedded system into renewable energy, into power systems, and yes, let's get AI on board too. Let's get everywhere jolly. That's what it has done for me. I'm very happy about participating in this competition. I would advise everybody to take part in it at some point in their life.
I feel you. I totally feel you. And you can tell, like, you can really tell that you guys like learned a whole lot. You guys even garnered skills that are even very essential to you, even beyond now. And so it's just interesting to see how like your thought process, your career process, every other thing has like, taken shape after this competition and after also putting together this project. So I think I'll come to Michael. And one question I would want to ask is, what advice would you give, like, very early undergraduate or even late undergraduate young professionals that are looking to build like innovations like this, looking to enter competitions like this, looking to also just expand their mind to do things that they feel like it's possibly beyond their capacity? How would you say they should navigate, situations like this?
Okay, so if I can remember very well, when we were doing the project, the major problem that we students do have is thinking we don't have a lot of time, we don't have enough time. So I got to know that even if you have 3 years to prepare for the project, you won't finish it. It needs to submission. We still have a lot of things in your mind to finish, because we're talking about let's do this, we should do that a day to the competition. So the best thing is to focus on the quantity, not the quality, not focus on how to make everything perfect, just put it out there. Before this time, I, Mr. Abiola and Charles did a competition before this time. Yeah. So we came second in the project, and this one we came first. So a lot of skills learned in that one we were able to bring it to the E4E competition. So it's a very big one. Then I think for students they should focus on what they can gain. It's not about winning. So if you don't win, at least we learned a lot of things. I also got internship with Schoolbox as a video guy. I said I'm a video guy. I got an internship with Coolbox. I was able to shoot a commercial for Coolbox, and so which this has brought a lot of good things in my way. This is my first time of hearing about data for EnerGii, and I was able to go and research about that, which I'm currently a student in ALX as a data engineer. Yeah, and I'm going to EnerGii. Yeah, so
yeah,
I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That's actually very interesting. And it just reminds me of when I did switch energy competition previously. I did not know anything. Like I was blank. Like I was totally blank. Like it was starting from scratch for me. Like I had to there was just a lot of research, a lot of things to know, a lot of very interesting concepts and all of that. And I think additionally to what you said, I would say that I would advise anyone to just do it. Like you, trust me, like we that do these things do not really know it as much as you think we do. We finesse it at some point. And so it's good to have like the technical knowledge and all of that, but you'll find out that most of the things that you'd most of the things that you would learn would come to you along the way. And so just like, take up opportunities like this. And some of these things even put you on a very global scale. Like you interact with people that are mind-blowing. You interact with both mentors and your peers, and you see what interesting things people are coming up with. You can also put these things as part of like your brother application packet if you're applying for opportunities, outside of Nigeria or even within the African continent and all of that kind of thing. It just gives you a whole round of exposure, like at the end of the day. I don't know if anybody wants to add anything before we go to like the final question, but then the floor is like very open. Okay. Just to touch on the final question before we have like external questions from any other person, I would want to ask, what is one core lesson that this journey has taught you, as a student, as a person, as someone within the energy space or someone looking to build within the energy space? What's one core lesson that this journey has taught you and you think that would be forever like embedded in your mind and your soul throughout life? But yeah, we can start with Abiola as well and then move around. Sorry, I'm always starting.
I would say, I think one thing I learned is that anything just wants to do, just make sure that you put in your best effort. Because why do it in the first place if you're not going to put your best effort? So because then I just ensure that, okay, this thing, let us do it right. Let us put in the right amount of effort required actually works out. So I think for anyone that wants to embark on any kind of project, so I would just advise that, okay, make sure just you put your best effort and then you just everything helps.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Abiola. We have Samuel.
All right. So yeah, one major lesson that the journey has taught me is I'll just say teamwork, like having to like work in a particular team and like having to like bring out the best from people so as to like come up with a feasible solution. Because ever since then, I always found myself one way or the other as like the group lead for maybe a project or something, and from there like that like open like helped my leadership skills to like be able to like bring people together and also like come up with something very, very good. Yeah.
That's so good. Okay, we can have Michael.
Okay, for me, I would say there's this code that goes down. A frog in a well doesn't know anything about the mighty ocean. Yeah, I would say it's not good to restrict yourself to one particular thing. Going into this competition, I was able to learn a lot of things, like a lot, like data and energy and other kind of stuff. I was able to see possibility apart from the prototyping, the 3D model, and my video and the electric. I was able to see a lot of aspects, the business parts, the energy parts, the engineering part, and I was able to try my prototype and yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We can have Mary.
All right. So for me, I would say it should be continuous learning, because you don't know what you can learn in any other opportunity, because this opportunity came while I was literally just a sophomore. So, and from that, I've learned a lot. So no matter what you embark on, like if there's any opportunity that comes on, just pick it up. You don't necessarily need to know about it at that point, but like try to research and do more and you will get it. That's just it. So I think that was what I was able to acquire, because now I can say with confidence that there's nothing that can come to me and I will not be able to do it.
That's the spirit. Then we have Charles here.
Two things. Be humble. Yeah, be humble is a popular phrase now in football. Be humble. Because some ideas, you might think you are up there, and just the little person with little experience, you're supposedly the little person between, say something, and that you'll be able to apply it in other things you want to do. And in this team, I will not say so that they will not be trolling me later. I'll not say it here, but I learned something that someone said, and that person, it wasn't in his office. We had different things to do. So it wasn't in his office, it was supposed to be my problem. Then I was going about it in a particular way. He said something, I was like, okay, nice. I applied it and I submitted. Mr. Abiola said, okay, that is nice. I never told him today that he's the one that said it. I will not tell him. So be humble, to be correctable. And that's the team spirit. That's also be humble.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we'll open now questions for everyone. If anyone has a question now, this is the right time to either raise up your hand, or you can type it on the chat. I would see it and read it out. So if anyone has a question, any questions? Let's see. Okay. So far, no questions. So I'll just leave the floor open to you all. Are there any last comments or anything you think that we did not touch on that you think that people should know within the efficiency for access challenge, or even within your participation? Essentially, is there anything that you think that would very well be very notable for anybody to know, or anybody to take in?
Sorry, I don't get that. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So I asked if there are no questions, I'll just want to throw it open to you guys. If there's anything you think that we did not touch on that you think is important for someone to know or someone to be aware of within the competition or even beyond the competition, if there is any advice, if there's any very interesting thing that happened within that space of the competition, or even now as during your internships, beyond your internships, now working within the energy space, and you think that it would be interesting for people to just be aware of, possibly in terms of also lessons and all of these things, it would be this is an opportunity for you to also share and just give your thoughts as well.
One thing we just say is that because the way that competition and the challenge was structured, I don't think it's something anyone can just apply it on the internet. So because the way they did it, they communicate through maybe through the HOD, because that was how we know then. So I just say that for anyone or any students maybe currently hearing this, so they should be trying to close to their maybe supervisors, lecturers, maybe to know what is going on and how, because I think that's the only way you can know whether this competition is on or not. So I think that's the only message I think I want to pass regarding to students that wants to know about how the competition is all about. Yeah. Because I don't think they share flyers or anything. So it was through the institutions and then through the HOD or through the HOD of some engineering department. I think that's how they structure it. So students should just be close to the lecturers or to the right individuals so that they can live up this kind of opportunities.
Yeah, I think that's actually very interesting, because you find out that some types of information move within some certain communities, and so being within those spaces where that kind of information is being passed across, also exposes you to people that will be interested in those sort of opportunities as well, and that you guys can form a team and all of that kind of thing. So I think, okay, yeah. Did you want to say something else? Okay, no. We have a question on the group, and then there's a hand. I'll just read the question on the group, and then anybody can take it, and then I will go to the raised hand. So the question on the group is, what is your view on the use of AI, and how do you think students can adopt it moving forward? So this is open to anyone that would want to answer within the team.
Okay. Actually, then AI is actually a good thing. So the LLM is a very good thing. But one thing is, it's not that 100% accurate. So because a lot of people rely heavily on it, and for most of us they do. So I just advise that one just try to ensure that they cross-check anything AI is giving them. So I would just advise that anything you want to do, just make sure you first follow the scientific process first. So before you now go back to AI, or maybe you can just use it. Well, if you can use this smartly, there are some ways you can use it in order to get the right information, but not to rely really much on it. But or if, only if you want to be using it for some repetitive task and how. So I think that's the way to use AI, not to get right information. I'm not sure. It just best you go to where you can get the right papers or right information, maybe through your professors and people that have accountability. Or because AI does not, they even always write it there that you should always cross-check this. So for anyone using AI, so I would just advise that you cross-check any kind of information that gets from it.
Thank you. Okay, so we have Caleb's hand. Okay, yeah, somebody wanted to say something.
Yeah, sorry, just to add to what Mr. Abiola said. Well, I would say to master the fundamentals first. Yeah, like AI is an incredible tool. Like it's like literally like one of the best things that happened to us in this century, in this generation. But the thing about AI is that it can't fix a foundational problem. For example, now a bad circuit design, you can't expect AI to fix it directly. Like once you have to know like the basic, maybe you're working on like an electronics project, you still have to know your basic electronics, your basic control systems, the basic power. You still have to like master the fundamentals first. So one needs to master the fundamentals first, and also you should also like learn to like be adaptable. Like because for example now the AI tools that we're making use of now, yeah, it's good to use AI, but the AI tools that we're making use of now, might possible that it might be outdated. Maybe by the time that I graduate, maybe there might be like a new advancement or something, but we should learn to like adapt, like maybe pick up AI skills. Like everybody's saying learn maybe prompt engineering, but just learn something that will make you like useful, like in this AI century. Yeah, that's just it for me.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Okay. If any other person has anything to say, then okay. Then we have a hand. Caleb, please feel free to ask your question.
Okay. Good evening, Kaito. Good evening, everyone. And
Good evening.
I want to say congratulations to the Solar Sentry team. Let me confirm I can. Abiola, Michael. Is Mary on the call?
Yes, she's here.
I don't think I've heard her voice so much. Emeka and Samuel. Yes, I think congratulations to you all. We sincerely celebrate your win. It's a good one. It's a worthy of celebration. And yeah, Kaito, it's also great to hear from you again. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then my newest friend, I saw her on the call, Sarah. I'm also saying hi to you. So quickly, to move on to my question. Okay, all other protocols do observed, right? There are a number of persons I want to greet, but to just move on quickly. I want to ask if I part of what I love about this is that it's a team win. So the five of you coming together, which is part of why I intentionally called each of you, right? So I want to ask if it's something we can expect, more programs coming from you as a team. If there are other things we should look out for. Maybe you guys are, when we hear of the PayPal mafia, or some of those things, right? Should we be on the lookout for this 4 young men and the amazing lady, right? Thank you. So it's a sincere and interesting question because I believe that in certain circles, creativity, innovation, it's just like you meet together and the ideas will just be flowing, and also so that's I'm just asking. Sorry, where I am, I can't put on my camera now. But thank you. That's my question. And thank you, Kaito. Thank you, success and everyone else.
Thank you. Anyone wants to take that? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Caleb. Actually, for now, we are still we are not together just as then. So I think it's been quite difficult even if there is any idea or anything to work on. So, but yeah, later in the future, if there is any idea that require us to come together back again and work on it, yeah. So you can be expecting something from now on.
No problem, no problem. Does any other person have anything to add before?
Yes, can I talk, please?
Yes, please.
Okay, so according to the question, I feel there's this word that say, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh." Yeah. So I feel we are still going through the life stage to know a lot about things, about a lot of things. Yeah. So later we have to sit down and do other things. I'm very sure we're going to do other things. I'm very sure about that.
Okay, that's good. Any other person? Okay, I also think that it would be like very interesting to see you guys like build this even beyond, or like even though not as a team, even individual projects as well. It will also be very interesting to see you guys like build something very very like very very valuable, very very useful within like the energy space. And so I'm really excited, as everyone is, to see that you guys have come this far, knowing that there is definitely still far more that you guys can do as a team, individually, whatever it is. It would just be very interesting to see. And so we'll know that, that's, Energy Tribe were part of the early people that, sparked such very, amazing interests within your hearts. But then, anyway, thank you all. I think there are no more questions and there are no hand raised, so I'm not leaving anybody out. So I think, okay, there's a hand now. We can have Sarah before we go. Yeah, hi Sarah, please feel free.
Hello, Kaito. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, so sorry, I can't put my cameras on. It's a bit dark where I am. So I just wanted to give a very quick contribution. And Caleb, it's nice to meet you on the call after meeting you earlier today. Yeah, so I currently work with the Energy for Access team at Coolbox. So I really wanted to congratulate them once again and also appreciate them. They've been very, very useful to the team at Coolbox. Yeah, and just to say I'm very I appreciate the work they do. Yeah, and it's very useful. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you. That was so good, and that was also reassuring to know that these people are actually even beyond this Solar Sentry project. They're actually doing amazing stuff even at work. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Okay, Charles, you have something to say.
Yes, Caleb made mention of if we come together to have a project. It might not sometimes be just from us, might not be internal. If you have a project you think we can help on, this team is very diversified in knowledge. You can always invite us on the project and trust us to deliver. This was a lot. Don't worry. We deliver as we delivered on this. Don't worry.
Yes. I mean, it sounds like a very, anyway, but yeah, I mean, trust them to deliver. If you have projects, and I think that's also one of the things that we do within Energy Tribe. If you have projects that you're doing and you need a community of people to back you in, if you have interesting things that you're going, I mean, in the coming months, we are putting together very interesting projects as well, projects that are not webinar based. And so it could also be an avenue if anyone is interested to jump in, we want to touch on policy, we want to touch on very interesting aspects of energy. And so if you think that this is something that you would very much be interested in, please feel free to reach out to the community. Feel free to reach out to any of the speakers too if you feel like this is something that you would want to explore with them beyond the now. That's also very open. We'll share their LinkedIn handles via email as we usually do. Share their LinkedIn handles. We'll share every other information, even the recording of this. If you need to listen in again, we'll share. We'll also share feedback forms. So please feel free to be very honest to tell us how you felt about this session. And if you feel like we are doing too much or doing too little, just be honest as possible. We can take it in, we are very strong hearted people. But yeah, feel free to let us know. Also, feel free to chat us like individually if you feel like you don't want to raise it up as anywhere else. You can chat us individually. We are fully available on all socials and on WhatsApp as well. And we are very active people, very friendly and cheerful people, as you can see. So yeah, and if there are no more questions and no more suggestions or anything, I think we can bring this to a stop. So I would say thank you to everyone, to our amazing speakers as well, for giving us that ginger to know that we can do much more than we are actually doing. So every other person that tuned in, with spending like an hour, 5 minutes of your time listening to us, I really, really appreciate it. I feel like you are really interested in EnerGii Tribe and you want to see us grow even beyond what we are now. So that's like very, very interesting to know. If you feel like, you want to reach out, please feel free. And thank you again. Thank you for joining. You can, at any time give a call. You can also drop the feedback form. I think has been dropped on the chat, so you can drop it there. It will also be shared via mail and on the group as well. So just know that you're welcome to input your details afterwards. It's a very straightforward feedback. We don't require too much. It's not those very long feedback. It's just just tell us how you feel and we'll be happy to read it and implement. So thank you. Have a very, very amazing weekend. I want to say it in French, but let me just close my mouth. So that's so thank you guys. I'm going to tune in. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. À bientôt. Bye. Oh my God. Yeah, bye. Bye. Okay.
Yeah, bye everyone.
Bye.